Hi guys, welcome to another episode of OffAir with Gbemi and I, Toolz.
Hey.
How you doing?
How's
everyone doing? Hopefully, I guess lots of people will be kind of back at work by now.
Why?
Yeah?
Why say lots of people?
Well, everything's gradually reopening, even though we still have like a curfew and everything, but I'm sure like a lot of us will be back at work. So make sure you stay safe and everything. Make sure you wash your hands, and don't forget your masks. Every now and then I still see like a random person, maybe they're walking down the street and their mask is like down there on their chin, and I'm like, that's not effective. It's kind of like, if guys wore boxers and they had their penises hanging out, it doesn't do anything.
Wow.
So you actually need to cover your face.
Yeah, everybody has seen that meme now.
It's a meme. It's a meme. They said wearing your mask the wrong way is like wearing your underwear the wrong way. Would you guys walk around like that? No, you wouldn't. So wear your mask properly. Fine. It's just wearing your mask the wrong way is also the same as a woman wearing a bra and having a boob hanging out. It's not right. It's not effective at all.
Thank you very much. Speaking of things opening up slowly, I read this article.
Is this about to be sexual? Speaking of things opening up slowly.
No, I was going to talk about Atlanta opening.
Okay. I mean, it's you, so we know where your mind goes.
Oh, we know where your mind goes. Within the first 2 minutes of the show, she already mentioned penis several times. So speaking of things opening up slowly, I read this article where they said that bars, clubs, concert venues will be open in Atlanta from May 31st. And I just chuckled. Coronavirus! Why?
And there's also another report that says that schools in the UK could possibly be open from the 1st of June, which is just scary. Absolutely scary. So the numbers of daily deaths in the UK has like dropped. Before I think they were averaging about almost 1,000. Now I think the last number I read was like about 300 or 400 and something. And yes, numbers are coming down, but it's still very much there. Yeah. And I think the numbers came down because of this whole social distancing. Now kids, you tell them to wash their hands. They might remember, they might forget. I just feel like that is just opening up a can of worms.
It is, but are you sure that the numbers are down because of social distancing or because they started testing less? That one too is there.
Are they testing less in the UK?
Look,
I don't think they're testing less in the UK.
If you watched I don't even believe anything again. If you watch Scandal and all these shows, you will know that politics. You don't know what they're telling you.
To be honest, I feel that there's so many people, there's so many advocates and blah 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 in the UK that will literally, it's one of those countries where you can actually demand information and you can demand proof. Not like here where they say we tested.
I know.
Which African country said that we don't have any corona cases? They're like, oh why? It's like, because we haven't tested anybody.
I can't remember what country.
And I was just like, oh my gosh,
wow.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's quite scary. Whatever you need to do, if you have to go back to work, if you have to, I'm still a bit funny about sending the kids back to school because I think that's actually quite scary. I mean, really and truly,
kids play. They don't have a care in the world. You need to be very, very careful. Remember when it's flu season? Kids
when it's flu season,
catch the flu.
Oh my gosh! Like kids are, especially when they're like toddlers and everything, they catch everything. When my son started going to like play school, he came back with just one or two things. He came out with a sty, and I'm just like, what the hell happened?
What do you mean a sty? A boil?
A sty is it a boil?
It's a boil
like
now.
But it's kind of like sort of inside the eye. And when he was at home, he didn't have anything. But then it's expected when your kids start going to, when they start mingling with other kids, they give each other things. And obviously they don't think, wash your hands. Although bless, he can actually use hand sanitizer now. Yeah, we taught him how to use hand sanitizer.
Just make sure that he doesn't lick it, for God's sake, please.
If he licks small, it's okay.
Ew.
Boost his immune system.
Please, no. Please, no. Please.
As long as he doesn't drink it, that's fine. Just a bit.
Anyway.
Make him strong.
You sent me 2 clips
yes.
During the week. The first one, let's talk about Lil Boosie.
Gonna get my son no motherfucking shit out here. I'm training them boys right. Ask in there my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got it. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my son dick sucked. You right.
For those who've never heard a song from him or anything, but he's the guy that said, "Put your pretty lips up to the screen and I'll give you $1,000." Remember that? Remember that? You can't remember that?
It sounds like Gbemi says that often.
Fuck off.
It does actually.
Fuck off, man. How would I say that?
Please put your pretty lips up to the screen. It sounds like she said it with too much like confident
Because
ease.
people used to make fun of him all the time when the whole lockdown thing happened, because the dude was so bored out of his mind. And he was the one that pretty much, I think, kickstarted this whole nudity on IG Live, I think, pretty much. So basically, he was doing an IG Live again. And this time he mentioned that when his son was 12 or 13, he hired like a grown woman, whether an escort or whoever, to give him oral sex. And he was like, heck yeah, I'm raising him right. And I was just like, that is child abuse, and Child Protective Services need to visit you and take that child away.
Bear in mind, this is somebody that also had issues with Dwayne Wade's son becoming his daughter.
Oh.
So he literally was quite vocal about it. And you know what? Let's break this topic down a little bit more, because most of the guys that I know, and I'm sure most of the guys that are watching, they probably lost their virginity quite early. And a lot of them lost their virginity to some of them lost their virginity to the house help. Some of them lost their virginity to like the older, girl, the older girl neighbor or something. And what you don't realize is, I mean, it's people joke about it, but really, you were a victim of sexual abuse. You were a victim of child abuse. So guys here, you can, did you guys, yeah. So was yours like your neighbor, the house help, or what?
No, it was like the girl 2 years.
Was she like so where did you find her?
School.
How old were you?
I was 15.
Okay.
Next.
No, you said
he was 24. Yeah.
But yeah, he said he was. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think I was 7 or 8.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. And
House help?
Was it house help?
Cousin. Oh god.
See, that's the thing, because when you have these conversations, people are like, it's almost like you're supposed to get cool points, but actually you were a child. You didn't know anything that was going on.
Yeah.
And somebody actually, somebody made you a victim. And I feel that when you introduce sex to people very, very early, when you introduce sex to children, it's very, very rare that person doesn't end up developing some sort of, problem or something afterwards.
Is it very well? I don't know. We're not scientists, but let's.
There's somebody that I know, and we were talking about it one day, and he told me that he lost his virginity to like when he was very, very young, to I think one of his friends' like older sister. And I was like, well, what was that like? And he said that he didn't really know what was going on. All he remembered was that she just had like this big massive bomb. And he goes that for some odd reason, every girl that he dates has to have a big massive bomb. So it's one of those things. I was like, but do you realize how that's tied to like what happened to you when you were a kid? And he goes, I don't understand it, but that's just what I need. Like if she doesn't have a big massive bomb, I'm just not really interested.
I mean there was somebody in our office that we work with who said that when he was ready, he was in JS2, he got some money and went to
I know who that is.
I went to what's it called?
His name starts with a T.
Yes. And that he went straight to a prostitute. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't hide it anyway. We work in the building with over 100 people.
Yeah. The day we actually decide to like break down his issues, oh my goodness.
We need to bring him on.
It'll be like a 2-hour show.
We need to bring him on because he's hilarious, by the way. And
with a counselor,
he basically said he was
he
took money and went actually to like a prostitute, like where they hang out, and said he wanted to. And the woman just looked at him. And then they went in and she just, I can't remember the story, but basically I was just like, gosh, how do we protect these kids that from these predators that prey on them so early, whether it's the old, especially boys, and they should stop looking at it as a badge of honor.
That's what I'm saying. It's like some people, like the way Lil Boozy was saying it, he actually felt like he'd given his kid some cool points. And I'm like, no, you made him a victim. He's now a victim of sexual abuse because he was much younger than the legal age. And this was somebody that was much older than him. And you actually facilitated the whole thing. And the other thing I don't like is, the other thing I don't like is the fact that if we flip the situation, if this was an older male and a younger female, oh my gosh, that's rape. He needs to go to jail and everything. But why is it different if it's like an older female and a younger male? So I feel that both the older parties, the older male, the older female, they did the same thing. They did the same thing, and they should go to jail. They really should go to jail. And the fact that Lil Boozy actually came out, it's not new. It didn't just happen the other day. But I'm surprised that he's not. Well, as of yet, we don't know if he's being investigated, but I think he should be, because
absolutely,
you just
especially if that child is still a minor and if he still has custody, they probably need to look into that. And I think take that kid away, get the child some counseling, get him some counseling, because obviously he's been. Anyway,
I think that there's also a part of him that thought, I need to do this early so he doesn't turn gay.
If you
which is,
hire all the women from Silver Fox to shake bum bum in front of your child. If your child is going to turn out to be queer, your child is going to be queer. Simple.
I think about that, and I cannot imagine, putting my son in that position, because he's always going to be my baby, even when he's like 20 or 30 and stuff. But I just cannot imagine kind of thinking, okay, well, you're 12, 13. I need to make a man out of you. We need to make sure you're a man. Here's some hookers. It just doesn't make sense. I don't think you can actually want your child's want the best for your child if you can do that. It just doesn't make sense, because you're exposing them to things that they should not be exposed to at that age. So that was very troubling. That was actually very, very worrying. And the fact that he was so brave to say it publicly, and it was almost like, I did a cool thing. And, the kid obviously doesn't know better. If your dad said something's right, you're probably going to think, well, that's my dad. It's right. So, So all the guys that have been, if you're watching, if maybe you were a minor and you lost, your virginity to, I don't know, the house help, your older cousin, the neighbor or whatever, and this person was much older than you, you actually need to take a moment to think, because you were a victim of sex abuse, you're a victim of child abuse. So you just need to take a moment, accept that, do what you need to. If you need to speak to somebody about it, please, please, please do. But it wasn't your fault. Somebody that was much older than you, that should have known better, basically put you in a position that you didn't need to be in.
Simple, straight on. Yeah. Now let's talk about Budget Guy.
Okay, you want to break it down?
Okay, so this clip has been floating around on social media.
So about a few months ago, I took this young lady out. We went out to dinner. She texted me. She says, hey, first date was cool, but can we go to this particular restaurant next weekend? I didn't respond because I wanted to go home and check my budget and make sure that, okay, I can afford it inside of my budget. So when I go home, I realize it's going to take me over that particular line item in my budget for dating. So I asked myself, all right, do I tell her the truth? Like, I was thinking about just lying, y'all, to be real. I was going to be like, can't go, I'm busy. But then you know what? The Holy Spirit said, no, don't lie. Show her the caliber of man that you are. So I sent her a text message that says, hey, unfortunately, I can take you out next weekend, but I can't take you to this particular restaurant because if I do, this would take me over my dating budget for the month. I would be more than happy to budget this in for next month if we are still dating. So I send it, and I got an iPhone. And then on the iPhone, y'all know how it happens. When they start typing, that big old bubble come up with a ... I'm thinking like, okay, cool, we good. Then the ... goes away, and nothing comes in. And I'm sitting there, I'm emotional, like, dang, did I just play myself? Dang, did she just play me? Y'all, she didn't text me for 2 months. She didn't return a phone call. She ain't do nothing. And I'm sitting here like, well, what the heck? How is she going to sit here and say, you know what? I can't respond to that because a man's going to stick to his budget. That's sad.
Okay, so you've seen that clip, right? And I want to know your thoughts on it. So he wanted to go on a date with this girl. She mentioned somewhere that was too expensive for him. He said he was on a tight budget, etc. Then he didn't hear from the babe again. She pretty much ghosted him. And let's talk about that first, because that's the first aspect. What do you guys think about that?
What about ghosting?
About ghosting him, basically because he said, that's not in my budget too. Okay, let's talk from the women's point of view first of all. So guy asks you out on a date, you agree, and you say, should we mention restaurant names or should we not?
We
okay,
can.
And then you say, okay, let's go to Shiro. And if you're going to go to Shiro, you're not going to spend small money, And then the guy goes, I don't have money for Shiro. One thing. But but then he says, oh, let's go somewhere else. So what's the next step? Would you ask to what's in your budget or what?
Okay, can I be honest? Can I be honest? Should I talk it?
Yes, talk it.
I'd be in two minds because we spoke about this actually. I like nice things. I like going to Shiro, and I can Shiro's a place that I can go Why are you looking at? What's going on?
No, sorry. Shiro is not expensive.
Shiro's not expensive.
His brain is bougie as
What's the most expensive? Okay, you know what?
Jacuzzi.
What's the most expensive Nigerian Lagos restaurants, please?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Sky
No, because they're
lounges.
cooking for you.
Sky lounges. I don't think Sky lounges is as expensive as
It's
Shiro.
not as expensive as, you know.
But I like going to Shiro. It's not like something that I go every day. But every now and then I'm just like, oh, go to Shiro. But it's somewhere that I can take myself. So I feel that if I was in the dating game, I think that now that I'm older, there's a certain amount of honesty that I basically force upon myself, because it's kind of let's just be honest. Let's be very, very honest. You are driving like a very, very nice car, the latest Range Rover. Mm-hmm. You are used to, I don't know, going on holiday about 3, 4, 5 times a year, and these are holidays that you actually
spend
pay
your own money. Yes.
Yeah, you pay for yourself. You got your car yourself.
Yeah.
Now you meet somebody and he is not driving a car as nice as yours. He probably goes on holiday maybe once or at the most twice a year, and it's something he has to save for and everything. Without being harsh, it will be, you guys are living different lifestyles. Mm-hmm. So it would actually take you kind of just stepping down from the 5 holidays and saying, okay, fine, I'm going to do 2 holidays, or him basically having to...
You don't have to come on the holiday. Stay back in Lagos now.
But think about it. You're a couple. You want to do these things together. You want to go. How many holidays you have a significant other? How many holidays are you going to go without your significant other?
I'm sure he's a busy person, so stay home, dear. Stay home.
No, but I feel that before, I think when I was much younger, I was all about love. Oh, we can make it work and everything. But if you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and this is not, there are people that are accustomed to a borrowed lifestyle. That's different. There are people that are, I like that. So there are people that basically, they don't got it, but they look for other people that do got it. And they basically want to live through them. So the ones that are like, oh, yeah, I want to go to Dubai now. You're not sponsored me, all of that crap. No, that's a borrowed lifestyle. But if it's something that you can pay for yourself, now you're used to that lifestyle. Somebody comes into your life, yeah, they're fantastic, yeah, they're great, but they're not on the same like sort of level. And this could be male
financial
or whatever.
level.
Yeah. So it could work, but let's just be very honest. If you've been living a certain way for years, and then you now have to change the way you're living from going on 5, 6 holidays, flying business class to flying economy and everything, it doesn't.
I'm gonna say that guys do this
elitist.
all the time. No, not even elitist. That guys always, all the time. The guys, on this different level, financial level. He's on a higher financial level than the babe, and he supplements her and he lifts her up. So why can't women do the same?
See, I feel if for my male friends, if they get into a situation or they meet a lady and all of a sudden they're paying for everything, I don't think that's right. You're not dating her to freaking have her be a burden on your life, right?
Is it your money? Is what people are going to ask.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Do whatever you want to do with your money. If you like, take a whole family on holiday. Her grandma, her grandpa, take everybody on holiday. Take everyone. Now
deviated pay for their school fees. Oh God.
No, but honestly, I have an issue with that.
No. Let's go back to let's forget about holidays and car. And
I'm
go
just
back
saying.
To the topic. So for example, you mentioned Shiro, and then the guy says, Shiro is not in my budget to one thing, and then he says, can we go to Black Bell?
haven't been to Black Bell before.
It's fast food.
Okay.
They have an upstairs area where you can actually
sit
or whatever.
I if I'm going to be very honest, I'll be in 2 minds. First of all, I'll be like, oh, I haven't been to Black Bell before. What kind of restaurant is that? And
you're like, don't worry, you like it. Don't worry, you like it.
But then on the flip side, I do respect if you have your standards. If you have your standards and you're like, look, I am trying to buy a house by the end of the year. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I don't want to be breaking the bank for, dinner and when we can do other things. I will also respect that. It might not be my first thought, but when I think about it, I'll be like, you know what, this guy was honest and he just said, look, I have other financial commitments, and it's not not like, oh, I'm trying to pay for my 6-7 kids or whatever. It's basically I'm trying to like buy a house. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to better myself. So for that case, I probably would give him a chance. I probably give him a chance. Or I would say, you know what, fine, let's go share. We can split the bill. You know, so I would probably either do that or just say, okay, fine, let's go and experience, you know, Black Belt and just, you know, check it out and see what it's like. But you know, when you meet somebody, there are things that are negative, there are things that are positive. Yeah. So it's all about weighing everything out.
I think, knowing you, if guy carries you to Black Belt.
To be honest, I haven't been there before.
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Their food is good though, or whatever it is. It's just that it's fast food.
Isn't it somebody that took me to that place that ended up giving me food poisoning?
What place?
Almost that place. I'll tell you.
Oh, that place. Somebody took you to that place? Oh, hell no. See,
I'm actually, I don't like this because you're painting me, you know.
No, somebody took you to that place. That place, no, don't ever eat there. I know what place you're talking about. Yeah. Don't ever eat there. See, I've only eaten there twice. And the first time, I thought it was, you know, I was like, okay, maybe something went off. The second time, and it was years after, the second time, I think I fell asleep on the toilet. I was so tired. See, I thought I was going to die. Nah, never ever eat from that place. Even if you are hungry, even if they give you the food for free. Never. God forbid.
But honestly, the kind of person I am, I wouldn't just say, well, he can't afford this, then that's the end of it. I feel that you have to like weigh all the positives and negatives. Okay. You might have
what's a mid-range restaurant?
A mid-range restaurant,
like Cactus.
Oh, I like this. Oh, what is it called again? Moon something. Moon. Oh goodness. Why are we giving them shout outs? They don't give me free food. I like what else? I like
what?
That place in Lekki. HSC Gourmet.
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay.
And their food's nice as well.
Yeah. So if you say that and then he says, okay, so HSC, you know, Sabor, RSVP, all of them are pretty much around the same price range. So you say one of those and he's like, my budget, one thing. Will you now look at him like, can you even afford to date or what?
I would actually have to look at everything else.
Is it something that you guys do? Like before you approach a babe, do you kind of size her up in terms of
try and size up her wallet?
Have you ever looked at a babe and you're like, this one is plenty. This one has money. I don't want wahala. Be truthful. Be honest. Yeah. Be honest.
I'm not intimidated by your money. I'm not supposed to come and save you. But if you want to eat at Cactus or Chiro that one time and I can afford it, I mean I can't afford it because it's out of budget,
Would you tell her?
On that date at Shiro, I can't afford this. I'll pay. But I know that this is not my lifestyle. I can't really afford this. But I really like you.
But will you keep trying to...
After I told you that one time.
Would you keep trying to...
I don't think you... I get.
No. But would you, like... please, I want to know, would you try again? Like, okay, so this was fun.
It depends on that response after I tell her that, look, I saved on my life savings to bring the year. And now... this is the truth. But
that has to be awkward. I mean, I appreciate the honesty, but that has to be awkward a little bit. Like, so I'm sitting down here enjoying the food, and the guy goes, "Oh, by the way."
No, the kind of person.
So I mean, you jokingly say it and stuff, and I'm just like, I won't know what to say.
No. We would have talked.
You know what? I actually feel that as much as that's awkward, I would respect that because I wouldn't want somebody to now be bankrupting themselves. Look at how many people we know in the entertainment industry that don't got it, but they feel like they have to flaunt it, and they're not. The lifestyle that they portray on social media is not their actual lifestyle. Absolutely. So I wouldn't want you to now be breaking the bank to like borrow money so we could go to to eat in Shiro and stuff. And I feel like there are other creative ways. So rather than take me to somewhere that is not very whatever, I don't mind if you're like, oh, you know what? How about I cook you dinner or something like that?
No.
These girls out here.
Really? Actually, do you know what? I actually
want you to save them. That's what
in the beginning stages, you are not cooking me dinner and I'm not cooking you dinner because I do not want you to start have wandering hands. So no.
Well, I'm not talking about the very first date. I'm talking about like honestly, like the nicest dates I've been on, basically are when we are just hanging out. It's not like, oh, it's foreplay.
That's what I'm saying, because the person did not act. I mean, first, second, third dates. maybe after like the 4th or 5th date, I can start coming to your house. I can start coming to my house, but don't come to my house in the first 3 dates, or don't invite me over to yours, because I already think that all you want to do is just smash. Because a lot of times that's what they do.
I mean, that's what you always. That's what I was gonna say. They always
we will wait.
First date to second date to half date to they always want to smash. They always want to smash.
If you smash on every first date, well, damn.
But you know, but can't you like, haven't you been on, you know, dates? Like I've been to somebody's house, they've come to my house, we've had dinner, we've hung out and everything.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying we did not that smash. A little too early. And you're also lucky that the person did not try nonsense. And even when the person tried nonsense and you said no, they stopped.
I haven't.
Do you understand?
But this is not, I don't think I've ever like had like a sort of, you know, dinner date at my house or that person's house with somebody that I just randomly met on the street. These are people that I've known through other people. I've checked out their characters. That's different.
So what about, okay, babe, imagine when life was
you should never take somebody to run into your house. That's what I'm saying,
but think about it now. People follow each other home from SIP. So what are you saying?
No.
Our organ.
I mean, I don't understand that one, because I'm always like, hey, they'll just use it for Otokoto in these streets, but Otokoto is money ritual. So that was the slang back in the day.
The Malaysia Connect.
Who watched Ludacris and Nelly? It was a lot of fun, lots of memories. Nelly's internet was like Teddy Riley's internet.
It was worse because there was sometimes I gave up. I went to bed after a while because it felt like I was there was a tweet that I saw. Somebody said that Nelly had like AOL dial-up. And then somebody said, first of all, you're dealing with Nelly's internet, then you're dealing with Nigerian internet. So after a while I was just like, you know what, F this, I'm going to bed. And then he kept on like I think
moving
because
around.
of the whole Jill Scott and Erykah Badu thing, Ludacris was talking way too much. Like doing
Nelly
the
was talking
I need to
too
give you
much.
props. I'm just like, play the music.
No, Nelly was talking way too much as well. And he was jumping all over the place.
Yeah,
I have to say though, but he's 45 and he's fine. Jeez. I was just like, oh God, this guy is fine. They look exactly the same, but Nelly was fine. But back to the music. No, it was lots of fun.
Country Grammar was my album though.
Yeah. Ludacris has a lot of hits. Nelly has a lot of hits. I will say though that Ludacris won. You know,
I knew Ludacris was gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Do they have the hits? Absolutely. Do they have? You know, they've worked with a lot of people. They gave props to people that they worked with, Missy to Kelly Rowland to so many different women, producers as well. Lots of people were on that live as well, from Tiffany Haddish to Kevin Hart to so many different people. Yeah. So shout out! I really, really like these battles. You were saying something about Bobby Valentino.
Yeah. So Bobby Valentino, like this was a while ago. I think this was after the first one. He now does this video where he's like, "Oh, y'all have spoken, and I'm about to. We're gonna do a versus me and is it
a versus or tour?
No. He didn't say tour. He said like we're gonna do a battle with Pretty Ricky's a group, right?
Yes.
No, I think it was one of them from Pretty Ricky. And people were like, no, we didn't ask for that, Bobby Valentino. You have like 3 songs. You have 3 songs.
How many songs does he have?
Slow down. I just want to get to know. And then what's the other one?
Officer. He has a bunch of. He has like 4 or 5 songs.
That one.
That's like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah. So then after that, what happens?
Yeah.
But you know what? I think unfortunately for Bobby V, so he kind of like went. He was doing okay. Then he kind of dipped, and then he was kind of still doing all rightish. Then he dipped even further after his that scandal with a transgendered model, and it was so unfortunate because they actually filmed him. So apparently, I think he hooked up with somebody. I don't know what happened, but then when it came to pay me my money, I think he didn't want to pay, and that person filmed him. I can see the guy in his boxers trying to wear his trousers and everything. I was like, Bobby V, no. All right then. So on that note, we should say goodbye. Do we have a question?
Let's ask about the money thing. Like, ladies, would you be put off if you, a guy wants to take you out on a date, you mention an expensive restaurant and he goes, that's not in my budget. Would you feel some type of way? And guys, would you feel some type of way if after you tell this lady that that's not in your budget, she kind of ghosts you and says nothing? Would you feel some type of way? I'm just curious.
I would really feel some type of way if the guy goes, I can't afford it. How about you cook for me instead? I'm like, waka. Yeah. because that's just like. No.
But all I'm gonna say is, don't go and mention expensive restaurants that you've never been to before and you can't afford it, but
And
then
you
you
can't
want
pronounce.
to use his own money to do it. Then you have no right to feel some type of way if he says that's not
borrowed
his budget.
Borrowed lifestyles.
You know?
Yep. All right. So stay safe, guys. Be safe. Look after yourselves, your families, and we'll catch you next time. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Don't
Very, very
forget
important.
that.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.